Welcome to Fashion Reverie Talks. I am Tiana Ibrahimovic.
And I am Cicely Daniels.
Fashion Reverie takes you from the front lines of fashion to the front row.
All of Fashion Reverie Talk segments are based on published content found on fashionreverie.com.
So remember, if you want more information on the segments, go to fashionreverie.com. So in this episode, we chat about the finer things. We have guest chocolatier Liron Pergament Gal and her Chuck Allure bonbons. And we also chat with fashionreverie.com editor-in-chief William Gooch about men's fragrances for spring 2023.
So let's jump into our fashion news. I will get us started. Making the Cut is back. I know that there are some big fans of Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn particularly, but obviously also fans of fashion. For anyone who doesn't know, Making the Cut seeks to find the next big global fashion brand. And the winners will receive $1 million to invest in their business and a mentorship with Amazon Fashion. And they get to create an exclusive co-brand with Amazon Fashion and sell their collection. And to me, that's, always, I love things with new designers. I love things where you get to see new talent. And especially because the fashion business is hard, I like anything that helps to give people a leg up. And, they have had great success with some of their winners. The show is going to air all around the world in like 240 countries. And it's just exciting. I'm a fan of both of them. So I'm excited for their next season.
For sure. I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, Amazon is great at launching things. So, everyone who's going to be part of the show, it's a big opportunity for sure.
Huge. It's so huge for the designers. And, like I said, the business, getting into the business part of the business, I think it's not just, we all know it's not just, are you talented? It's not just that. So
yeah, I love Tim Gunn too. I can't wait to see him back on the screen. So.
He's a treasure. He's just like, I think who doesn't love Tim Gunn? I think if you don't love Tim Gunn, you just stay home. Nobody's friends with you.
I know, right? Well, there is also another part of news from fashion industry. Everyone is familiar with Philipp Plein. And so, actually, he kind of hit the peak a few years ago when everyone was wearing it and going crazy about this brand. So it's been a while he's been sort of out of the news, but this is a pretty dramatic news. So he was accused of homophobia by a former employee, Amro Al-Soleibi, and who is the former regional director of Philipp Plein's New York stores. And so he accused him of discriminating against him because of his homosexuality. It seems like, it's possible, given Philip is like a straight man known for like hanging out with at like certain parties, etc. However, things aren't always the way they look. So he was hired in 2018 and he frauded Plein for $100,000 for fictitious services to a phantom company owned by Al-Soleibi's friend and co-tenant Tala Atasi. So New York courts concluded that as soon as the scam was discovered, he alleged that Plein discriminated against him because of his sexual orientation and fired him. So how convenient, right? I guess it was pretty obvious what happened here. So Philip is pleased with the decision and, he is happy that it was sort of brought to daylight that this guy was trying to accuse him and get money from him. So that's that.
Ooh, scandal. Well, you know, it's you can't. It's if you're gonna accuse someone of something, it's better if you haven't like committed any kind of terrible crime or acts. Otherwise, it's
Yeah,
harder to believe, or it's at least looks a lot more suspicious, right?
it's just another con artist, it looks
Yeah,
like. I mean,
exactly.
it happens even in big established companies like Philips. So,
Totally, totally. Well, our last bit of fashion news is about a fantastic model, Alessandra Ambrosio, who is in her 40s now. She's 41. And some people say, oh, you know, in your 40s, that's it for modeling. And this Brazilian supermodel is saying, obviously, no way. I'm with you, girl. And she is collaborating with Brazilian clothing brand Pat Bow, and they are doing a collection of bohemian dresses and separates. And I think that that's a really fun thing. She was just seen at Coachella on the first day in one of the outfits, and the 16-piece collection has a price point starting at $295 and is right now is available for pre-order. And just there is a sense of fun like kind of about her, so I kind of feel like it does maybe make sense, you know, like I know there's always so many collabs, but like, you know, it could be fun. And again, like obviously women are doing amazing things in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, so like anything that like allows people to stay true to what they love, I'm all about it. And obviously, you know, continuing to model and also, you know, design and collaborate, I think that's awesome.
definitely. I mean, I've never heard of the brand before, but I love Alessandra. So, she's obviously the one that's sort of bringing it forward with this
Right.
brand. And I'm all about it. I think, what people used to believe about women in their 40s and
Foolishly.
after and post 40s, like it's no longer true anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and she looks amazing. So you know, of course. So you know what I mean. I'm here for it, of course. So
Mhm.
we'll look for your line, girl. Well, that's it for our fashion news segments for today. But you all know this is always where to go. Go back to fashionreverie.com, keep up on the news, know what's going on.
Yes. Well, guys, we have some sweet discussions ahead of us with Liron Pergament-Gall, chocolatier and owner of Chalk Allure. Hi, Liron.
Hello.
Welcome to Fashion Reverie Talks. I took a look at your website. Chocolates look delicious. And I'm already, thinking of what order to place. So you produce these incredible, fashionable chocolate bonbons that come in variety of shapes with creative establishments and flavored. Could you tell us a little bit more about your chocolates and about your process of making them?
Yes, absolutely. So in general, my approach to making chocolate and really what I'm targeting is to have every person that opens up a box of Chalk Allure chocolates just say, wow, I can't believe this is chocolate. So I incorporate and invest a lot of work in the artistry of these chocolates. I call it chocolate couture.
Ooh, I love that.
And really, this is after so many years where I trained originally as a chocolatier in France in a pretty well-known school called Le Notre. And I've always been a huge lover of chocolate. But it's always been either delicious chocolate or pretty chocolates, but not really anything in between or anything that combines them both. So since starting out, I've been working on developing a lot of different recipes and perfecting them. And in the past few years, I've added that aspect of these very intricate and elaborate designs that I add to the bonbons. And for anyone seeing on video, I just have a few examples here.
Ooh.
This one of my designs. A lot of the work is really getting the outside to be very shiny. So all of these designs will look very much prettier when the cocoa butter on the outside is shiny. And this is all colored cocoa butter, really. Here's another example of these lips.
Oh, how cool.
Chocolate lips. Yeah, this is one of the more popular designs that I do.
So you also create seasonal chocolates. Would those lips be maybe seasonal for Valentine's Day or something like that? Or tell me a little bit about that part of your process.
So year round, I always have my collection, my bonbon collection that changes according to the season with it could have different flavor, different ingredients. And on top of that, I really want everyone that goes into my website, say once every month, once every 2 months, they always find something new there. So these lips, for example, they were part of my Valentine's Day collection where I had 6 different colored lips in shades of pink to purple. And each one of them had a different caramel flavored filling. So there was a salted butter caramel, mango passion fruit caramel, a Scotch caramel, and several more. For Easter, I had these huge Easter eggs with different designs. For Father's Day, I'm actually working on these golf balls.
Oh, that's so cool.
I dare you to tell the difference between this and a real golf ball.
Oh.
Until you slice it open and you see vanilla bean caramel, a dark chocolate ganache, and a crunchy hazelnut layer inside.
Ooh, that sounds good. What about flavors? Do you keep the same flavors and we can sort of pick and choose design for it, or how does this work when one is placing an order?
So every flavor has its own design, so that you can identify what's inside based on that design, and you can look it up on the website as well. Most of my flavors are the way that I interpret different popular desserts. So I try. Every bonbon has different layers of flavor and different layers of texture. Consuming it should really be an experience that you remember. And the way I start the process is I'll think about a dessert such as creme brulee. That's one of my popular pieces. The thing that identifies a creme brulee to me is all those specks of vanilla bean that go inside the cream and that crunchy caramel layer on top. So my interpretation of that into a bonbon is in 2 different layers. The first is this smooth, creamy ganache that's made out of caramel chocolate with vanilla bean. And the bottom layer is another crunchy layer with that same caramel chocolate and crunchy pieces of caramel, same caramel that tops the creme brulee that I make and just grind into pieces and incorporate into that layer.
Oh my God, you're killing me with these descriptions. I'm going to have to go get some chocolate right after. So tell me about the price points of your couture chocolates.
So these chocolates, they're not made by machines. They're all the work is done by humans. A lot of work goes into the decoration. A lot of work goes into the filling because every bonbon has 2 to 3 layers of filling. That means we're going over every mold 2 to 3 times. And we use the best ingredients. We use French Valrhona chocolate, fruit purees by Boiron, which is another French company. So obviously I don't compete with the cheapest chocolate in the market, but I do always make sure that I have products in various different price points so that everyone can sample something.
I mean, you also started your company during COVID.
I did.
What kind of made you make that decision, or how did it happen?
So since training 15 years ago, I've always had a full-time job in what I say is the opposite of chocolate making in cybersecurity.
Oh, okay.
Really?
At least if we're placing the order, we know it's secure online.
And this has always been just something that I've done on the side. Then when the pandemic started, I wasn't traveling from work anymore. I didn't have a commute, a lot more time at home. I just started making more chocolates. And I said, okay, why don't I start selling them to just cover the costs? And really, when I started doing that, the business took off. I finished, this was the end of 2020, where I had a full-time job in cybersecurity, and I was working somehow 20 hours a day making chocolates. So after that, I just said, wow, this has been my dream for so many years. I have a really unique product that you can't find anywhere else. So I'm going to go for it and live my dream. That's what I've been doing since.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, good things came out of pandemic as well. Things. Let me ask you this. Do you ever work on like custom made chocolates with your clients for events or weddings or birthdays, sweet 16s, etc.?
I do a lot of custom work. And again, this is something that's very unique. A lot of companies, they'll just stick your logo onto a chocolate, onto a water bottle, onto a t-shirt. And here I'm trying to add much more to the experience. So what I do for weddings or for corporate gifts, I'll use the colors of the wedding or the colors of that company's logo and create all my bonbon designs, the same signature designs that I have with those specific colors. So if the wedding colors are pink and gold, for example, you'll open the box and all the bonbons are in pink and gold.
Oh, how nice. So it's a new company. I'm sure you have some plans for it. What are your future plans for Choc Allure?
We're continuing to grow the business, buy more equipment, hire more staff. And then I'm constantly thinking of new ideas and trying to surprise people.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Liron. I can't wait to receive my order.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Well, I am thrilled on our next segment to be able to talk to one of my favorite people, but also a really important person here at FashionReverie.com, our editor-in-chief, William Gooch. And we are going to be talking about Spring 2023 men's fragrances. Hi, William.
Hi, Cicely. So happy to be here again. I was here the last time and I'm back again.
Yes!
I've never been on Fashion Reverie Talks this much. But I'm here for a very, very special segment. It's on our men's fragrances, so go to fashionreverie.com to read the entire list. We're only going to talk about 3. This article was written by our managing editor, Christopher Hoyle Johnson, and unfortunately, he couldn't join us today. So, of course, the big boss had to fill in and talk about the fragrances. And this is so incredible because 2 of the fragrances I have in my house, we discovered them during Bridal Week. And so we brought these men's, or some of them are unisex fragrances, over to this segment.
I love it. I love it. Well, like for anyone who is trying to start exploring fragrance is just like another wonderful layer, I think, that goes with your fashion choices that really can like bring you into a room, that can be something. Some people like to have a signature scent, but some people like to change it up like based on their mood. So I think it's, always a great thing, especially for men to begin to explore. So what are we going to talk about first?
We're going to talk about Vince Camuto's Homme men's fragrance. Now, everyone knows Vince Camuto mostly from shoes and more specifically women's shoes. He also makes men's shoes as well. But to my surprise, he makes a fragrance. And let me tell you how I came upon this fragrance. Toward the end of Bridal Week, there was a Vince Camuto press event where you could go to his store, look at the new collections, and Fashion Reverie, of course, was invited. So me and our managing editor, Christopher Hoyle Johnson, we went, and they had a little game where you could spin the wheel and win a $500 gift card, a $100 gift card, or you could win one of his men's or women's fragrances. Now, I watched people spinning the wheel, and they were spinning too hard. So they were missing all of the gifts. So I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spin really softly, slow, so that I was trying to get the $500 gift card, but I didn't.
I love it.
I ended up getting the fragrance. So I ended up with the men's fragrance, which is in a blue bottle. It's wonderful. I have it in my home. It makes you feel so special. It makes you feel so masculine. I mean, the title of Christopher's article is Fragrances That Bring Out Your Masculinity and Your Enchantment. And this kind of does both, because what man doesn't want to be masculine in a certain kind of way? We define our masculinity, but what man also doesn't want to enchant with his fragrance? And this fragrance does both. It brings up all kind of memories of the Mediterranean and sea and those deep spices. It's just a wonderful fragrance, and it lasts all day.
Well, we love a good long wear. There's nothing worse.
Very moderately priced. I think it's about $82 or $86. I forget exactly the price point. Let me see. $82. Yes, I had to look down at my notes. $82. So it's affordable. It's not one of those $400 fragrances. So it's something that, ladies, for your man, men, for your partner, on Father's Day, which is coming up in June, Vince Camuto, Homme, Homme. There you go.
I love it. Well, first of all, now viewers, you learned about Vince Camuto's fragrance, and also in case you are at having to do a spinny the wheel thing, how to game the system and get your prize. What's the next fragrance we're going to talk about?
Well, we're going to talk about Justin Alexander's Thank You and Good Luck. This is a unisex fragrance. Okay, I have another story about this fragrance. So me and managing editor Christopher Hall Johnson were going to a bridal show, Justin Alexander's bridal show, and in the gift bag was his new fragrance, which I don't think is on the market quite yet. I think it's coming out really soon. And this is a unisex fragrance. Now, let me tell you what's so interesting about this fragrance. A man or a woman could wear it. And typically, years ago, you would not have the top notes of your fragrance to be very floral for men, because men didn't want to smell like fragrances that a woman would wear. But we're in a whole different era. We're in a whole different time. And as men, we can define ourselves however we choose to. This does have some very strong top note floral fragrances. I've been wearing it. I have it right here. Can you see it?
Yes.
It's a very plain bottle, but the scent is not plain. It is wonderful. Also lasts all day. And although the top notes are quite floral, they're not too floral. So as a man, you can get away with it, and you can have your lady friend, your other kinds of friends think about how good you smell all the time, and they're going to want to hang out with you because you smell so good.
I love that.
Fabulous fragrance. I have it on right now, and I'm showing it to you. And the fragrance is called Thanks and Good Luck. And that's what that fragrance is all about. Thankfulness and good luck.
Fantastic. Okay, now what is the last fragrance that we're going to talk about today?
Okay, now the last fragrance I do not have. Christopher has it, but he's not here with us. I don't have it. It is Guess's new fragrance, Uomo, which is Italian for man. And it's a very typical strong male fragrance with a hint of spices and smokiness to it. And I've had Guess fragrances in the past. They're wonderful. And this is similar to that fragrances they've done in the past, but with a little bit more. I mean, all the fragrances are readjusting how they present themselves now and how they combine scents. A little bit more floral. So we're starting to see more floral scents with men, more floral top notes or middle notes in fragrances. And this has that, but it's still a very strong male fragrance. I think it's a good fragrance to put on, you know, if you don't get a chance to take a shower after the gym, you just want to spray yourself when you walk out in the street. It's a good fragrance to put on, not to cover the smell, the sweatiness, but to kind of mix that sweatiness with a masculine enchantment.
Oh my goodness.
You got to get all of these for your husband, Cicely.
I need to get all of them for my husband. Also, viewers, we love meeting with William because not only are you learning about the fragrance, you're getting a story, you're getting some life lessons.
Well, you know, there's always a story with me.
I know. So that I think that's just fantastic. William, thank you so much for joining us. And again, viewers, I think that fragrance is a wonderful way to get to know a brand. It's also a wonderful way to start representing your own personality. And an easy way, a lot of them you can buy the eau de toilette, or you can sometimes get a smaller like sample size so that you can, try it out and see how it works for you. And I think that's a wonderful way to explore and have a lot of fun.
And there are more fragrances on the article on fashionreverie.com.
Yes. Thank you so much, William.
Thanks for having me yet again.
Well, viewers, that's it for this episode of Fashion Reverie Talks. Make sure you place your orders with Chalk Allure for Mother's Day, Father's Day, or order some nice fragrances our editor-in-chief, William Gooch, recommended. We thank our guests for joining us.
For information on these and other stories, go to fashionreverie.com. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you next time.